Imagine walking into a grocery store with $100 trillion in your pocket and still struggling to buy a loaf of bread. That isn't fiction. That actually happened. People became overnight trillionaires, yet many couldn't afford basic food. Salaries lost value before workers even got home. ATM withdrawal limits were lower than the price of lunch. At the peak of the crisis, prices doubled almost every single day. How did an entire country reach this point? Was it simply because the government printed too much money? Or was there a much bigger story behind one of history's greatest financial disasters? Today, we're uncovering how Zimbabwe printed trillions of dollars, why it happened, and the shocking lessons every country and every investor should learn. Let's begin. Zimbabwe wasn't always an economic disaster. In fact, after gaining independence in 1980, the country was considered one of Africa's brightest hopes. It had fertile farmland, valuable mineral resources, and a strong agricultural industry. Zimbabwe exported tobacco, maize, and gold while maintaining one of Africa's strongest currencies. For years, the economy showed promise. But beneath the surface, serious political and economic problems were quietly growing. By the late 1990s, government spending exploded. Zimbabwe became involved in an expensive war in the Democratic Republic of Congo, costing hundreds of millions of dollars. At the same time, the government increased wages for veterans and expanded public spending without enough tax revenue to support it. Instead of reducing spending or raising sustainable income, the government borrowed heavily. Debt climbed. Confidence began to fall. Then came one of the biggest turning points. The government launched a fast-track land reform program. Large commercial farms were seized and redistributed. While the goal was to address historical inequality, the transition happened rapidly and often without preparation or support for new farmers. Agricultural production collapsed. Exports fell sharply. Food shortages began. The country lost one of its biggest sources of foreign currency. Without export earnings, importing fuel, medicine, and essential goods became increasingly difficult. Businesses started closing. Jobs disappeared. Government tax revenue shrank. The economy entered a dangerous downward spiral. Instead of solving these problems through structural reforms, Zimbabwe's leaders chose what seemed like the easiest solution. They started creating more money. At first, it appeared harmless. More money meant salaries could still be paid. Government bills could still be covered. But this decision would soon unleash one of the worst hyperinflation crises the modern world has ever seen. And once that spiral began, there was almost no stopping it. At first, printing money seemed to work. People still received paychecks. Government employees got paid. Businesses continued operating. But there was one massive problem. Printing more money doesn't create more food. It doesn't produce more fuel. It doesn't build new factories. It simply increases the amount of money chasing the same or even fewer goods. Prices began rising. Then rising faster. Then exploding. People rushed to spend their salaries the moment they received them because waiting even a few hours meant everything would cost more. Stores stopped putting price tags on products. Restaurants sometimes changed prices multiple times in one day. Workers demanded higher wages. The government responded by printing even more money. This created a vicious cycle. Higher prices led to higher wages. Higher wages required more printed money. More printed money pushed prices even higher. Soon, inflation wasn't measured monthly. It was measured daily, then hourly. By 2008, Zimbabwe's annual inflation rate reached an almost unimaginable level estimated in the billions of percent. The central bank kept introducing larger banknotes. $1,000, $1 million, $1 billion, $10 billion, $100 billion. Finally, a $100 trillion note. It looked unbelievable. Yet its purchasing power vanished almost immediately. People carried backpacks filled with cash just to buy groceries. Some shops refused Zimbabwean dollars altogether. Instead, people traded using US dollars, South African rand, gasoline, food, or even soap. Savings disappeared. Imagine spending your entire life saving money, only to wake up and discover your savings couldn't even buy breakfast. The lessons the world should never forget. In 2009, Zimbabwe effectively stopped using its own dollar. Instead, It allowed people to use foreign currencies like the US dollar and the South African rand. Almost overnight, something remarkable happened. Hyperinflation slowed dramatically. Stores could finally keep stable prices. Businesses slowly regained confidence. Trade became easier. The economy didn't become perfect overnight. But stability began returning because people trusted the money they were using. This revealed one of the biggest truths in economics. A currency has value because people believe it has value. Once that trust disappears, printing more of it only destroys confidence even faster. Years later, Zimbabwe attempted to reintroduce its own currency. However, rebuilding public trust proved incredibly difficult. Many citizens preferred holding US dollars instead of local money because they feared history could repeat itself. And that fear shows just how powerful economic memory can be. So, what lessons should we learn? First, printing money is not the same as creating wealth. Real wealth comes from productivity, businesses making goods, farmers growing food, workers providing services, and innovation increasing value. Second, government spending must be sustainable. When spending consistently exceeds income without a credible plan, debt and inflation risks grow. Third, trust is one of the most valuable assets in any economy. Once confidence in a currency is lost, restoring it can take years or even decades. Finally, Zimbabwe's story reminds us that economic crises rarely have a single cause. Political decisions, declining production, debt, reduced exports, and excessive money creation all interacted to produce one of history's most dramatic episodes of hyperinflation. Today, that famous $100 trillion note has become a collector's item. Ironically, it's now worth far more as a historical souvenir than it ever was as actual money. It's a powerful reminder that numbers printed on paper don't create prosperity. Strong institutions, productive economies, and public confidence do. So the next time you hear someone say, "Why doesn't the government just print more money?" remember Zimbabwe. Because history has already shown us what can happen when money is created faster than real value. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Which financial disaster should we uncover next? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.